हरि ओम सर्वेभ्यः। आपादमौलिपर्यन्तां गुरूणाम् आकृतिं स्मरेत् तेन विघ्नप्रणश्यन्ति सिद्धन्ति च मनोरथः। लक्ष्मीं तनोतु नितरामितरानपेक्षम् अङ्घ्रिद्वयं निगमशाकिशिखाप्रवालं हैरम्बमम्बुरुहडम्बरचौर्यनिग्रं विघ्नाद्रिभेदशतधारधुरन्धरन्नः। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. I welcome you all to the first session of Bhāvārtha. We will start with the first verse of Sri Rama Gita. So it is also necessary to learn the shloka before we go on to the meanings. Therefore, I'll be repeating the shloka, every shloka twice. We will learn the rules of pronunciation as we go through. Atha Sri Rama Gita. Atha Sri Rama Gita. Shri Mahadeva Uvacha Tato Jaganmangalamangalaatmana Vidhaya Ramayana Kirtimuttama Chachara Purvacharitam Raghuttamah Rajarshivarairabhisevitayatha. Atha Shri Rama Gita. Shri Mahadeva Uvacha Tato Jaganmangalamangalaatmana Vidhaya Ramayana Kirtimuttama Chachara Purvacharitam Raghuttamah Rajarshivarairabhisevitayatha. So before we go on to the Bhāvārtha, I think the context of the text, context of this whole Upadesha has to be clarified, Sandarbha that is. So it so happens that I've already specified this, but Sri Rama Gita is a text of 62 verses. It is a Prakarana Grantha, you can consider it so. It appears in Adhyatma Ramayana, which is a part of Brahmanda Purana. In Adhyatma Ramayana, after the Yuddha Kanda, that is after Rama returns with Lakshmana and Sita after his exile, he takes over as the king, that is he's crowned the king of Ayodhya. After he is crowned king, there comes a situation where a washerman in his kingdom speaks not so good about Sita's abduction by Ravana, because she did stay in Lanka for a year. So, hearing this as a king, Rama takes a decision as a king to exile her as well to Vanavasa. And as a king, he orders Lakshmana to escort her to the jungle. So it so happens that when Lakshmana hears this, he's a little shocked, because due to no fault of hers, Sita had to accompany Rama to Vanavasa for 14 years. And then she was abducted by Ravana. And then she had to give Agni Pariksha. And now sufferings have not ended for her. It still continues. So he is taken aback, he is shocked, yet he does not question Rama, because that order is from the king of Ayodhya, and therefore he carries it out. And after that, he still riddled with that question. Why was it so? Why Sita is subjected to these kind of sufferings? Why did Rama take that decision? All this comes into his mind. But he doesn't question the king with regard to that order. He carries it out and then he waits. This whole text, that is the Adhyatma Ramayana, is delivered in the form of a samvada between Mahadeva and Parvati. Most of our texts deliver any information, any verses, shlokas, everything in the form of a dialogue between a guru and a shishya. That is usually to show that the knowledge only comes to the person who seeks it. Therefore, it is the duty of a shishya to first ask the question and then expect an answer to it. The guru will not tell you everything that you need to know. It is only when you ask a question, then the guru must give you the answer to it. So, keeping this in mind, we see that most of our texts are built in that way, where there is a samvada between the guru and the shishya. Even in Bhagavad Gita, we have Arjuna asking questions. We start with that. Arjuna has to ask the question to Krishna and then he answers it. And that is very specific. That is the reason we find that even though there are many topics that are connected to each other in Bhagavad Gita, they are in different places because it is as per Arjuna's questions, it is not as per topic. So it is up to us to figure out which topic and which all free verses come together, which are all relevant to a particular matter, like that, subject matter, like that. So in this case, it is Mahadeva and Parvati's Samvada. Mahadeva being a ardent devotee of Sri Ramachandra and an admirer of his personality. So Rama, the Ramayana is being narrated to Parvati by Mahadeva. So here, Sri Mahadeva Uvacha, we start off, but before this, it so happens that Parvati Devi is listening to the Ramayana and she hears the end of Yuddha Kanda where Rama, Sita, Lakshmana return and then all the story that progresses further. Then she has a question in her mind. Like everybody else, she too wants to know what Rama did after Sita's exile. So when she asks that question, then Mahadeva replies. So this is in response. So it is Sri Mahadeva Uvacha. That is how we start. Tato Jagan Mangala Mangalatmana. Tataha is thereafter. It is in continuous tense. So it is not immediately after Sita has been exiled, or it is not an immediate present. It is something that in continuation. What did he do after that? So thereafter. So after that point of time, after Sita's exile, what did Rama do? Thereafter, that Jagan Mangala Mangalatmana. It is a very big phrase and it is a very big word. Jagan Mangala Mangalatmana. Here, Atma can be very specific reference to the Brahman, where Rama is also considered as Shuddha Brahma Parat Para Rama. So he's the direct form of the Parabrahman. So Mangala Atmana. Why Mangala Atmana? What do you mean by Mangala? Mangala is Ananda Pradhana Mangalam. Something that gives Ananda. So here, happiness becomes the most important part of this Mangala Atma. So the Atma, we've heard of it, Chidananda Atma, Chit Ananda, Sada Chidananda. Always when we think of the Lord, when we surrender to the thought of Parabrahman, we are in ecstasy. The ecstasy is continuous and it is abundant and it is immense. So therefore, this Mangala Atmana means someone who always provides that state of Mangala or Ananda Pradhana, something that gives Ananda. Jagan Mangala Mangalatmana, the Atma that has taken avatara to bring about happiness to the world. Jagan Mangala, he has not taken birth for his own karma vrittis. He has taken birth for the sake of this world. He has taken birth to bring about happiness to this world. That is the reason Rama, that the name itself is Ramante Yogina. So thinking about whom, yogis also, yogis are Sarvasanga Parityagis. Even they become happy when they think about Rama. So therefore, Ramante Yoginaha Rama. So He is that Mangala Atma, that Shuddha Brahma, who has taken avatara to bring about happiness to the world, to bring about prosperity to the world, to bring about um, auspiciousness to the world. So Jagan Mangala Mangalatmana. He is thereafter that Jagan Mangala Mangalatmana, that Shuddha Brahma's avatara, Brahman's avatara, who has taken the form of Rama, who is also in his physical body as well, is so beautiful that thinking about him itself gives you that pleasure. So Jagan Mangala Mangalatmana, who has taken avatara to bring about happiness to the world, and who Vidhaya Ramayana Kirti Muttama. Kirti Muttama. Kirti, that is Uttam. Kirtim Uttam. So we are talking in superlative degree. He is, if we look at Vishnu Sahasranama also, he is described as Pavitranam Pavitrayo Mangalanancha Mangalam. So therefore, he is the most auspicious, he is the most happiness, most auspicious thing that we can come across, the thought of Narayana. And what he has done in this avatara, he has Vidhaya. Vidhaya is to establish. Vidhaya Ramayana Kirti Muttama. The Kirti of Ramayana. And what kind of Kirti is Uttama? The grade of that Kirti is Uttama Kirti. The greatest Kirti, the greatest praise, the greatest glory of Ramayana he has established. Now here, Ramayana needn't necessarily be a reference to the Gatha, the story. Here, Ramayana is a reference to Rama's Ayana, which is, Ayana means his path. So the path in which Rama walked, the path in which he followed. What was that? That is Dharma Patha. Him being a Dharma Nishta, him being a person who, in his human form, valued Dharma of his you can talk about it as Kshatriya Dharma also, because he was a Kshatriya by birth. So Dharma was Sarvocha for him. It was the highest duty what he had to do, to follow Dharma. So there is a story also where this was during his Vidyabhyasa with his Shastra Abhyasa with Vishwamitra Maharshi. At that point of time, he has to, he's given the task of protecting the rishis when they are performing their yajnas from those Rakshasas, that is Maricha and all those Rakshasas. And at that point of time, when the Rakshasas come, he does not harm them. He does not harm them. He with his Bana, Dhanur Vidya, he provides a protective shield to the whole yajna so that they can't throw things and they can't touch the rishis, they can't do any chestas. He prevents them from doing that. But Vishwamitra Maharshi is not happy with it. He asks, how come you didn't kill them? And we need to understand that Vishwamitra Maharshi was also a Kshatriya in this. But Rama replies to him, how can I kill them? Because as a Kshatriya, I cannot harm anyone who hasn't harmed me. That is, who hasn't risen or attacked me. How can I attack them? That is against Kshatriya Dharma. So therefore, your Adesha, the Guru Adesha was to protect the yajna, which I have done, but I cannot kill them because they didn't do any such thing. I cannot, they didn't attack me, so I cannot attack them unprovoked. So therefore, he knows the dharmas very well. He is dharmanishta, he is dharmajnata, he knows it very well. And therefore, this person has, throughout his existence, throughout the whole phase of Ramayana, he has lived by dharma, and therefore that Ramasya Ayanam, he has glorified the kirti of Dharma Patha in this avatar. So he has also established the greatest glory of Dharma Patha. So vidhaya Ramayana kirtimuttamam. And chachara purvacharitam raghuttamah. Chachara cha a chachara. So what did he do after that? That was the question that was asked by Parvati Devi. So this is just the adjective that we have given to Rama. And thereafter, that Shuddha Brahman's avatara, which has taken birth to bring about happiness to the world, who had established the greatest glory of Dharmapada. What did he do? He followed the Purva Acharitam. Whatever was the duties, whatever was the Nitya Karmas, whatever was the Kathora Tapas that his Purvajas, Raghuttama, they have given. Raghu Vamsha is a very great Vamsha. So in Kalidasa's Raghuvamsha, he says the Raghuvamsha's glory is equivalent to that of sun's rays. It's that sun's sheen. It's that great. So all his Purvajas, they were all great people. And we have heard this as well in as Goswami Tulsidas says, Raghukul Reet Sada Chaliyai Pran Jai Par Vachanana Jai. So that was one of the glories of Raghuvamsha, that all the kings kept their promises. So therefore, what did he do? Achachara, that means he followed. Chachara is given over here. Chachara, he followed. What did he follow? Purva Acharitam. Purva Acharitam, all the nishthas, all the rules, all the austerities that was followed by Raghuvamsha, the previous kings, that is his predecessors, he followed all of them. And he followed it as Raghu Uttama. Among the Raghuvamsha, he is Uttama, Sarvashrestha. They were in themselves great men, but among the lineage of great men, he was the greatest. So, what kind of men were they? They have given further. Rajarshi Varyaihi. All the men, if you notice the Raghuvamsha, we get 5 generations in Raghuvamsha. You start from Dilipa, and then we have Raghu, and then Aja, Dasharatha, Rama. So all 5 of them, there are 23 generations we can go through, but the 5 of them, they are considered as the greatest of that lineage. And it starts from Ikshvaku, by the way. Ikshvaku Vamsha Prabhavaha he is. So it starts from Ikshvaku, then there is Kakustha, then there are so many others like that. But the last 5 generations are very important because they lived like Raja Rishis. A king is born in luxury. A king enjoys luxury. So Raja Rishi means where he has detached himself from the luxurious nature of a king. So what is he doing? As a king, he is only doing his duties. That is Praja Rakshana, Praja Palana, administration, all the Sushasana, all these things he is doing. But whatever is the luxury associated with that, he is not considering that, or he is not enjoying that. So this is the nature of all his Purvajas. Rajarshi Varyaihi Yatha Abhisevitam, as they performed. Yatha Abhisevitam, as they performed their duties. Raghuttama also did the same duties, but he performed it to the dot. He performed it in a greater sense. So this is what happened after Sita's exile. So the story is being continued over here. In reply to Parvati Devi's question, Mahadeva replies that thereafter, that avatara of Mangala Atma, who took birth to bring about happiness to the world, who established the greatest glory of the Dharmapada, started performing as his ancestors did. The greatest austerities that was performed by his ancestors, he also followed them. But as a Raghu Uttama, he performed to a greater extent and with greater strict and discipline, strictness and discipline. So this is the Bhāvārtha of the first shloka. So in this, when we think about Sri Rama Gita, we need to understand that this question that comes about by Lakshmana has a lot of relevance to understanding who Rama is and how Rama's personality is different from that of a king and that of a brother. So we will further see it with the next shlokas. So we will end the session. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः प्रतिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषाम् गोब्राह्मणेभ्यो शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि।